should be fun.
Yeah, it's actually near our old high school. It's like right next door. So who knows? Maybe we'll get drunk and then go swing on the playset or something.
I thought you were going to say break into the school, but you made it really innocent and cute.
It's actually like a cool hangout spot where we used to go. We called it the tree, and it was just like this old fallen over tree that we would just hang out in and just shoot the shit when we were kids.
Mm.
All right.
Make that spot.
Yeah. I'm sure that was for someone.
Yeah.
Not for me. All right. We're streaming live. You guys are recording. All right.
Yup.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chart Shot Gamescast, where Justin burps all the time.
Sup?
And Lo just laughs.
I just laugh.
Yeah, that's all he does is laugh.
That's all I do. That's why I'm here.
But he contributes.
He's our laugh track.
Still better than Big Bang Theory.
Wow.
Ooh.
I don't know about that. All right. Today we have Justin with. Wait, what happened to your week this week?
Oh, what happened to my week?
I don't know.
Rephrase that. Yeah, I don't remember this week super well. So I'm just gonna kind of like focus on a few things later in the week because that's all I remember still. Gaming, I didn't play much. I jumped a little bit back into Final Fantasy 13 because I just wanted a brainless RPG to play while I caught up on some shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That game is still very brainless. It's just frustrating because it plays itself, but you have to switch up your job or whatever it's called, the paradigm, so that the characters playing themselves, in combat, use the right skills automatically. But there's some enemies that are just such obnoxious bullet sponges, like the bosses, RPG to play, that they knock you down like crazy while you're still trying to shift out jobs, paradigms, whatever. And so it's like with healing, for example, you go through the animation to switch over to the healer, medic, and then you load up your cure spells and use them, and then they hit you again, as soon as you switch back over to your actual combat paradigm, and it's not fun.
No, it's
so it's usually not even worth doing, but then you're just sitting there with one person chipping away at an enemy and another one that can only use cure because that's the only thing you know. And then sometimes they just with this one, I had almost taken them out, and then I guess I wasn't paying enough attention to my health, which was at maybe 75%, plenty, and it's just pop, 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 dead. I'm like, what? There's no way I could have prepared for that.
Yeah.
So it's just it takes all the momentum to keep playing when something like that happens, because you spend 10 minutes on these battles that aren't fun.
Right.
Maybe not 10 minutes. I'm exaggerating, but for the amount of time you actually spend playing the game, it's a long combat.
Yeah.
Let's see. I finally tried out No Man's Sky. Speaking of not fun.
Oh, you actually played it.
I did.
Oh.
It's not I make the joke that it's not fun. I think I need to jump in with someone or a group of people or whatever and get shown the ropes, because it really does feel like Minecraft in a lot of ways. You can break through the terrain and kind of find your way, and you get resources to build things, but it still feels even with all the additions and stuff, it feels very shallow. Because it's not super clear what you need to build anything until you already have the stuff for it. So you're just hoarding all the stuff in your inventory in case you need to build something with it. But you only have a very limited inventory. And it takes forever to go anywhere. So you're stranded out in the middle of nowhere with all of this stuff that you don't need to do anything with. And you're trying to find the one resource you actually need to build the next thing for your next quest. And then you run out of space and have to, weigh what's the most least important thing to get rid of, because some of the stuff is worth a lot of money, but you're stuck on this planet for right now. So it's like, how important is money?
Right.
But you don't want to get rid of it because it's then when you can go sell stuff. So I feel like it needs a little bit more like resource management if it's going to be that heavy on like the ecosystem. Whereas Minecraft is just building, so you don't have to worry about that stuff.
Not unless you play survival, which is the whole point. At least for me, anyways. I always played survival.
You still don't need money and to buy things in shops and all that.
Yeah, they have shops. Minecraft has updates. It has a lot of updates.
Oh, okay. I don't remember there being shops or a need for a lot of money and selling items and stuff.
They have villagers and they have shops and they sell enchantment stuff.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
That's fine. But the point is, there's a lot there, and I just kind of jumped in. I'm like, I assume there'll be a tutorial to kind of show me the ropes, and I guess there is. But it's not. It's not a very intuitive one. It's just okay, make this thing now to do this thing.
Once you get your ship and you fly around, it gets a lot easier.
Oh, I got my ship and I'm flying around.
Oh.
But even then, it's it takes 5 minutes to speed to the next place. And I thought that the ship, the actual flying around of the ship would be a lot more interesting. Kind of like Elite Dangerous, where it's people will get the whole rigs and actually use that for accurate flight and stuff. I doubt anyone would do that with this, because it's kind of just hold the triggers to go fast and then point in the direction you want to go. That's flying. And then if a rock gets in your way, you shoot at it and just go through the hole. And it wouldn't be bad if it was quick, kind of Star Fox style, where it's just everything is very close and all that. It's realistic space flight where things can if you just go normal speed, it'll take you an hour of real time to go from planet to planet. So you have to engage your boosters or whatever, and you can warp, but it uses a resource that you have to refill your engine with, and so then it's just continues that grind of having to hoard things in your inventory until you can put them into your ship. And there's a lot of that.
That's what that game is.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's just like a Minecraft where you just get resources to get more resources. There's no real end game to it.
I like I said, I think I need people to kind of jump in with me and screw around in it, and I think that'd be more fun. But it's definitely, I'm glad I know what it is now. But I don't think I'd play it by myself.
That's kind of what I told you.
Yeah, I realize that.
It's I know you well enough where I'm just you'll find this really boring unless you have other people to play with.
And I assumed that, but I thought there would at least be a little bit more game there. And then finally, today, I reinstalled Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel, because I thought I also had Borderlands 1, and I guess I don't. I apparently haven't played that since the 360 days. So eventually I'll pick that up, maybe after the 4K updates and stuff goes out. I didn't see the point in spending $20 on that when I could get all of the DLC and everything for the other games for less than that. It seemed kind of silly. But and they're getting 4K.
I didn't realize that they added Duke Nukem to Borderlands.
They did?
Yeah, I'm just looking at my Borderlands games and they added.
Wait, really?
Duke Nukem Forever First Access Club Code. I guess that's probably Duke Nukem Forever demo or something maybe, but still maybe. It's disappointing to see that under the Borderlands title.
Weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, anyway, so I just kind of wanted to remember what those games were. I'll jump back in more seriously eventually, but Lo joined me in some Borderlands 2 because it's the only one he has, and we got just thrown into the middle of a mission. I don't think it was the middle, I think it was the beginning, but it's the mission was already active and it was go do this thing. And I was I haven't played this game in 2 years. What is this game? I don't. And so it's like we just walked out of a tunnel and there was enemies everywhere. And it's like, all right, gotta learn how to play Borderlands again.
They were pretty tough too. They like weren't just like regular like like shoot guys. It's just they were like on top of us like the whole time. It was pretty
we were
crazy.
like level 27 or 28, something like that. So
yeah, somewhere around there.
You know, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still really fun. I definitely want to see, like, I wanted to see it now before the textures and stuff come out, so that like next week when the 4K update drops, we can kind of compare. And so I think that'll be a lot of fun to see what they do to it. But I mean, it really does hold up. I think you said that, Lo, that it like graphically it holds up pretty well.
Yeah.
It looks a little muddy, but yeah.
I mean, it's like it's one of the things like that's one of the things I love about the game is the art style. It allows it to age. It allows it to age as well as it did. It's just like if you get close enough and like look at stuff, you can see kind of where the cracks are and things like that. But other than that, it'll be interesting though. It'll be really interesting to see like just how much work they've done to it.
Yeah, and honestly, I do want to get Borderlands 1 because I want to see if they do more to 1 than they do to the other two.
I do have 1. It was kind of funny because you have 2, the pre-sequel, and then I have 1 and 2. So the only overlap we have is 2. So
well, that's fair. But I do have I have all the DLC and stuff now, so I kind of want to start both of those over. And then, like I said, with 1, I'd have to start that over because I only had it on 360. So I don't know. Like, there's no release date yet for Borderlands 3, but I feel like it needs to be like a just play through all 3 of them again before 3 comes out. That's confusing. Play through all 3 games before 3 comes out.
Right.
What is this, Kingdom Hearts? But yeah, we'll continue on that in the future. I'll probably have to give updates since Lo's leaving us, but it's fine. And finally, I have a little anecdote, like not gaming related, but work related. So this week's actually been a lot of fun. I've gotten to do a lot of video stuff, which is cool. But today was like 90% like video work at work, which I could get used to, totally fine. But I was trying to rush to get this this like slideshow project edited because one of our managers is going on a trip next week, and he's taking it with him to kind of like show off the stuff we do as a department. Cool. And he's not coming in Monday. He's going straight to this conference out of town. So I was like, okay, I got to get this done before he leaves. So I finished editing it at like 1:32, somewhere in there, and go to export. And I'm like, okay, I leave at 4. Should be plenty of time, no problem. I hit export, and it tracked at like 4.5 hours for an 11-minute video.
No,
and I'm just like, my laptop is not like I could feel the heat coming off of it. Wow, it was really sad. It's just a little baby laptop, and they're letting me do they should not probably be letting me do video on it, but they are. So I had to deal with it. Usually the stuff I make is like a little over a minute, so I don't have to worry about that. And even then, it takes like half an hour to 40 minutes. So I guess if you multiply that by 11, that'd be like 4 hours.
Oh man.
So yeah, I just left it. Like I couldn't use my computer while that was happening. So for like 2 hours, I was just trying to figure out what else I could do that didn't need my computer.
Goodness.
And so we have a parking garage that's like 1.5 miles or so away from work. And like it had been raining all day, and I didn't know if I could close my laptop without killing the export, because like it goes to sleep, and I was really paranoid. So I was asking around, and no one else knew either, because most people edit on desktops. Well, you wouldn't have to know that question. So I ended up just deciding to move my car like over next to the building, like right before I left, and then I just like walked my open laptop out to my car in like super gloomy weather. I'm like, gotta go, hope it doesn't rain, and like bring my laptop home and let it finish the export so that I could put it online and send a link to the manager. Like, it's so sad, the things that you have to do sometimes to get the work done. But whatever.
Yeah.
It finished at like 6:30, I think.
Ooh.
So yeah, just about 4.5 hours.
Jeez.
Good thing I didn't have to fix anything after it was exported, right?
Right?
If there had been a problem, that would have been really upsetting.
Oof. Yeah.
But yeah, that was my day. Aside from that, really just business as usual. I haven't been in the best mood this week. Just something in the air with the season change. I'm not really sure what. So the beginning of the week's kind of a blur. But we did start doing like one of those meal prep kits, the the delivery service things. This was like this past week was the first week of doing it. I think we actually did our first meal before the last podcast. I don't remember if I talked about it, but I like this is hashtag not an ad or whatever. I just want to talk about it because these meals have actually been really good and they're not super expensive. But it's called Every Plate. It's one of the cheaper ones. It's not like the fancy Blue Apron or anything like that. It's some simpler recipes. A lot of the things are like kind of in little packages. And the sides are quite a bit simpler, so I don't have to send as many like veggies and things like that. But we've been super impressed with basically everything so far. There's only one thing that we didn't actually make, and that was like a zucchini, like a fried zucchini side with the chicken we made on Wednesday, I think it was. And that's because like zucchini's gross. So like there's one meal that like you cook the zucchini in with everything. Like I put that in there because it's sometimes it's the flavor profile needs that stuff, but when it's just on its own on the side, no, I'm not going to do that. I know exactly what that's going to taste like. But yeah, there's so far we've had like it was like a honey chipotle chicken breast, which was super tender and had a lot of flavor to it. Today I made a Vietnamese steak bowl, which was kind of like an Asian infused kind of more like soy sauce and vinegar with like this really juicy steak, rice, cucumber, carrot, garlic, and like a sriracha mayo dressing. Ooh, it was really good. Yeah. And some of the stuff we've got coming up, there's like some so I think they're also sriracha mayo pork tacos. That sounds really good. There's like a burger thing. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, I'm really excited for what's coming up. And like I said, this really does feel like an ad, doesn't it? But these meals are only like $5 per person. And so like the main thing is like we have a hard time getting out to get groceries and stuff. It just kind of like it falls at the wayside when after work you come home. And on the weekends, it's like, let's work on the house and blah, blah, blah. Like, we got to get all this stuff done. So we just kind of forget about groceries. So it's been a lot of, like, eating out junk food, bringing home pizza on the way home from work. Just, like, stopping at the grocery store to pick up something quick on the way home. Like, bad things, basically. And it's made me feel really crappy. So, for one, it's kind of nice to cook. Like, I get home, I put the music on, I make, like, a 30-minute meal, and it's better than anything I would have made otherwise because everything's there. I've got the recipe card, like super convenient. So we probably won't like do it forever because it does get expensive over time, I'll admit. But right now it's just kind of convenient to not have to worry about getting groceries, or as many groceries at least, because there's only 3 meals. And it's building up the recipe cards because like it gives you all the things you need for it and the instructions how to do it. Like I said, none of it's that difficult. It's not like there's fancy ingredients or anything in there. It's a lot of like potatoes, zucchini for some reason. I really like zucchini. Garlic, onion, like some kind of meat and some different seasonings and stuff. Like all stuff you can get on your own. It's just things that we probably wouldn't get that much of. So it's like when you can have one sent to you or like a little packet of something that you wouldn't normally carry, it's a lot more convenient, whereas I would probably just leave that out. So, yeah. I mean, I think I've filled my obligatory 20 minutes of the show. So, but yeah, we made one of the Vietnamese bowl tonight, and so it's kind of fresh in my mind because the kitchen still smells like food.
Food.
But I recommend them. Like it's one of the cheaper ones, and it's a good kind of starter meal kit, to see how these all work.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Hello?
So I had an interesting week. Um, I actually ended up. It was my fiance's mother's coworker's boyfriend. He needed some help. I know. It was ridiculous coming out of my mouth. So he needed some help with a job that he was doing, and I guess someone hired him to assemble this display for this. It's like a franchise sort of convention expo sort of thing. It was just a bunch of different like display booths, and people were like, "Oh yeah, this is like the information on our franchise or whatever." So I get there, and it was supposed to be a 4-hour job kind of thing, but it turns out like I thought it was just going to be like a pretty simple display kind of thing, but it was like an actual like wall that we ended up kind of building. It was like a wall that was supposed to have like a big like 40-inch TV like set into it, but the thing is like the TV that was supposed to ship with the display got lost somewhere in shipping. So it's like, okay. Convenient. So yeah, right. So we ended up building this wall. Again, I say it was supposed to be a 4-hour job, but the lady that hired us, she was really nice. But like at one point when we were basically done, right? And then she was like, "Oh well, I think like this part is backwards or whatever." She thought that some part of it was like messed up or like we didn't put it together right. But we're like, no, we triple checked actually the instructions and all that because the instructions weren't very clear. It was just like IKEA instructions, but with like way less like maybe half as much like actual text to read. So it's just mostly pictures, and it's just like they didn't even give you a thing that tells you how much hardware you need, any of that kind of stuff. But anyways, so we're like, no, we checked, everything is good. Just like, no, I think you guys, I think you put it together wrong. Like, okay, so we took it all apart, only to realize, well, no, we took it all apart, then we put it back together, only to realize that we had it right the first time. So then we took everything back apart and put it back together. So it ended up being like a 7-hour thing, and I'm like, I mean, whatever. Like I was
getting paid for 7 hours, right?
Yeah. So I didn't complain. So it's just like whatever. I mean, like I was sore after because it was really like it was probably we probably should have used at least 2 more people to help us assemble this thing because at one point because this thing's heavy because it's like the wall itself is just it's like a metal frame basically. So when we were putting like the support feet on, like we had like basically one of us like held it up while the other one like screwed on all like, the feet and whatever. So so I was the lucky one, so I got to hold up the display. That thing was heavy, by the way. So I was holding it up, and then he realized he didn't have the hardware for it handy. He didn't have it like on hand. It got like moved or something like that. He's like, oh, hold on, let me go find it. So like it's like good 10-15 minutes of him just like looking for this hardware, and I'm just holding this wall. I'm like, well, I can't really just let this thing down, so whatever, I'm good. I'm just gonna chill. And I just kind of like started like thinking about other stuff, just kind of keeping my brain preoccupied. And it was funny because at one point he came up to me, he's like, "Sorry, I haven't found the hardware yet. Are you okay? Are you good?" Then I'm just like, "No, I could do this all day." So, really, I was kind of hurting a little bit at that point. But shortly after that, he found it.
See you cry,
right? It's like I can do this all day, but seriously, hurry up. But yeah, he found the hardware. He ended up getting put together. So it ended up being fine. And then we went back a few days later just to take everything down, which took a fraction of the time because I was literally just take it apart, put it back in the box. Okay, we're done. Thanks. Bye. So that was fun. Another cool thing that happened this week was I don't know if I mentioned it on the show, but I had a job interview with Private Division, which is the sister company of 2K, 2K Games, or 2K Vegas specifically. And yeah, they offered me a job doing QA. So I accepted because, hey, steady paycheck. I've been doing I've been hustling pretty hard, just kind of with independent contracting, freelance stuff. So it was kind of nice. Yeah, exactly. You know how it is.
You're in Vegas. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. You know. Gotta get it how you can, right? But yeah, steady paycheck sounds good. So I'm accepting the position. I already accepted it, but unfortunately, in their policy, it says it's in their policy that I'm not able to do game-related content. So it's kind of a bittersweet thing because I won't be able to talk games with you guys every week, but hopefully we'll be able to do something else. Maybe ramp up the movie stuff. Maybe like talk movies every week. That could be fun too. You know, maybe do like a movie club or something where we watch a movie, talk about it at the end of the week. I don't know.
We've never done that before.
No, never.
Maybe some kind of other weekly podcast where we do like, you know, movie and TV news and, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. That's a good idea. We should do something like that.
Yeah.
But anyways.
I'd be cool to bring it back if I don't have to edit it. I just got tired of editing it.
The possibilities.
I'll edit it.
Okay.
But yeah, I have been watching on that kind of note. I have been watching more like videos and things like that. Normally, it's funny because normally when Tanya gets home from work, she'll just be like, "Oh, what do you want to watch?" I'm like, "I don't know," and then she'll just like cruise through like the queue for like a good 5 minutes, and then she'll just put on reruns of The Office. So that's usually what we end up doing. But we've been actively trying to watch new stuff. So we watched Umbrella Academy. I think we need to rewatch it because she has this thing where we'll get through an episode and a half. Like specifically, it's one episode, and then halfway through the second episode, she's asleep. And so like here I am. I'm like, do I keep watching this because shit just got good, or do I I don't know. Sometimes I'll like stop because I'm like, okay, I'm kind of sleepy too. But sometimes I'll just like watch 2, 3, 4 episodes. It's just like whatever. She'll have to rewatch it at some point anyways. So, but yeah. So Umbrella Academy, really good show, really cool series. I really like it, which is funny because there's a lot of like time travel and stuff like that and flashbacks and things. Normally stuff that like would irritate me if there was like as much of it as there is in this show, but like I don't know, it all works somehow and it's great and I love it. So it's it's really cool. I'm looking forward to the next season because like that finale, man, it was like it was a good one. It was really good. But
yeah, that's a show that you can't do anything other than watch it. Because I tried doing like some other stuff while having it on, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I need to like actually sit down and watch this show.
Yeah, you need to have like undivided attention when you watch because there's a lot going on. But like it's like as long as you're paying attention, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense, cool. But yeah, it's been fun. This was like maybe like a week or two ago, but I did finish The Dragon Prince. Unfortunately, I'm sad now because there's no more of it. I love that show. It's awesome. It reminds
season 2, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I finished season 2. So
I haven't started season 2 yet. We're kind of behind on stuff again.
Oh,
so many shows keep coming out.
I know, right? That's like part of the problem. It's just like you start watching stuff. It's like, oh, look at all this cool stuff to watch.
Yeah.
So
yeah, April's
we're
gonna be
almost done
packed.
with Future Man.
Oh, that's another one I need to start. I heard that one was really good too.
I just said April's going to be very packed because you get Endgame and then you have Game of Thrones and also American Gods still going right now.
Yeah.
That's
the cool stuff to watch.
There's a lot going on.
And then Good Omens in May. Oh, we get Tick in April also.
Oh,
season 2 of the Tick.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, what's going on? Holy crap!
And this weekend, Santa Clarita Diet just dropped. Like, I can't keep up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so aside from that stuff, actually, what else? I think that's pretty much it as far as like stuff that we've watched. But as far as like games, I actually started playing Max Payne 3 because I was going through my library and I'm like, oh yeah, I have this game. Let's install it. Let's give it a shot.
Why not? 2K published this.
It's like, oh yeah. Actually, it was a Rockstar.
Oh, Rockstar, yeah. Well, 2K, Rockstar, same thing.
Take-Two.
Oh, it's Take-Two. Fuck.
The umbrella. Or the parent company, whatever the hell you call it. Anyways, well, yeah.
Just
so
keep
I
going
started
up the
playing
chain,
that. Yeah.
So I guess Private Division is making Max Payne 4. Got it.
All right. Thanks for the leak, slow. Breaking scoops.
No comment. No comment. But yeah, that game's fun. It's challenging, and it's almost like they really want you to rely on that bullet time because it's almost like when I don't use it, I just die. But it's fine. It's cool. The slow motion dodging and stuff, it's all neat. I played Max Payne 1, the first one, like way back in the day, back in the day of the original Xbox. I think it was on when I played it.
I played that shit on PC.
Nice. But yeah, I always knew it was like a really good series, and I heard 3 was really good too. So yeah, I started playing through the story. And
I like 3. 3 was pretty cool. It was way different than the other 2 games.
There's a lot of cutscenes. Like I noticed. I feel like a lot of them are like load points though, because like halfway through it'll be like, you can skip this, by the way. I'm like, oh, okay. But it's been like, where were you like a minute ago? But anyways, it's fine. Like it's a good way to hide the load points though, with like the cinematics. It's just kind of weird. Like if you like go replay the game or something like that, you have to like sit through the cutscenes. But I mean, it's a fun game. It's a cool game. I like the mechanics. It's pretty much same. It is the same engine as GTA. So you got the cover system and all that. You got the added
I remember it looking pretty good too.
It looks really good, especially I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly when it came out, but like it still looks great and it performs well.
That came out on the 360 era, didn't it?
Did it? Probably.
Sure. I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Like
you're probably right.
Like 2010, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, like 2010, 2011, one of those.
I'm not sure. I remembered it on PS2, but that might have been another Max Payne game.
Yeah, that's 2.
Not 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was probably 1 and 2.
Then yeah, you're definitely right.
Yeah. Cool game though. Yeah, it's fun. Like the mechanics and things. Challenging, nice and challenging.
There's some pretty cool Easter eggs in there. Like my favorite part of that game that I remember the most, anyways, is that when you're going up to the building in the final area. There's a piano there, and you could go up to the piano and start playing the theme from Max Payne.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
like
awesome.
My favorite thing about it.
One thing about that game I forgot, Max Payne is a series. It's pretty sad, because it's just, it's just kind of crazy. Because like I'll go through like this level and stuff like that, then we'll just like cut to him just like drinking heavily and just like trying to forget his past.
Yeah, it's like noir detective thing.
Oh, poor guy.
It's all about feeling Max Payne.
Oh,
snap.
Yeah, I see what you did. Nice.
And that's why he takes the painkillers to hide the pain.
So yeah, I've been playing Max Payne 3. That's been fun. I also, just to scratch my horde mode itch, I jumped into Warhammer 40k Space Marine. Gosh, that game is fun. It's just fun to like just chop through orcs and just waves and waves of them. They have a pretty challenging horde mode too. Was
that the third-person shooter?
Yeah, it was a third. Okay. It was a pretty solid shooter too. I mean, like, it was kind of a product of the time, whereas like a lot of the textures are like brown and gray. And
I always wanted to play that, but I just never got around to it.
It's a pretty fun game. It's fun. Like if it's ever on sale, I say pick it up. Like I just play it mostly for the horde mode. The story mode's pretty cool too. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing as you're just killing a bunch of orcs and stuff, and graphics are pretty good. Performance is good. And it's weird. It's like part shooter, like part hack and slash too, because you have like all the weapons, like the chainsaw swords and your fatalities, your executions you can do. And it's interesting because it's like the only way to regain life when you're playing the story mode is to do these executions, and it's just which relies on the melee combat. So it's like, you gotta like kind of balance the shooting and the melee combat. So it's pretty fun. It's a fun game. So, other than that, in addition to checking out, hopping back into Borderlands 2 with Justin, I also hopped into the first Borderlands last night just to see how things were. I mean, like visually, the two games aren't that different. I feel like Borderlands 2, like it definitely runs a little bit smoother, like more color saturation, maybe a little bit higher resolution textures and things like that. But for the most part, they were developed on the same engine, Unreal 3, but there's just a lot of like quality of life stuff. Like for example, that mini map, there's none. So it's just like unless you know where you are, it's just like, where the fuck am I? Then you check the map, and then I remember because it was as soon as I hopped back into the game, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this shit because I remember playing it back in the day on 360, and I was like, why do I have to keep checking the damn map so much? Like, why can't they just have it right there on the screen? I remember like that was my first complaint about that game, but But yeah, other than that, it's a fun shooter. It's a fun game. They mixed. There was like the RPG, the looter shooter. I bet
that intro still holds up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I listened to that song religiously when that came out. That game.
It's stuck in my head all over again now that I started playing it again. But
I can't think of what it is. But if you probably did like 3 words, I would know it.
Money don't grow on trees. Got bills to pay. I've got mouths to feed.
Okay. I still can't think of the rest of it, but I know.
Yeah.
I know it now.
I forget what the name of the group
Cage
was.
the Elephant.
It's something. Yeah, I knew it was elephant. I knew it was something elephant. First, I don't know, like Restless Elephant. Is that what it was? No, that's not it. That doesn't sound right. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. Just Borderlands hype, you know.
Yeah, it's a fun series, that game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So most of my week this week has just been Destiny and Division 2.
Nice.
It's really different playing with 3 people in Division 2 because when it's just me and my dad, we have each other's backs. But when we have the third person with us, it's like we can actually like come up with tactics and do things like a real cohesive unit. It's kind of fun. But I actually played a different game because I figured, hey, I need to talk about something on the podcast.
No way.
So I went back and I played some God of War.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I played a bunch of that over the weekend, and I got to the point where I had to fight a dragon, and apparently no one's like ever fought a dragon or killed a dragon in like thousands of years or whatever. And the fucking like boss fight for that dragon is awesome. I don't know if Justin's gotten to that point yet or not, or if you
I have
passed
not.
that. No? Okay.
Well, you already spoiled it for me in the chat. So.
But yeah, you should keep playing that game, Justin, because
I know I need to. The problem is the last time I booted it up, it was like a lot of the side quest stuff, like Niflheim and whatever else.
Yeah.
And so like I kept wanting to do that stuff, but I don't like that stuff, and so I was like, I need to just mainline the game now.
Yeah, just mainline the game.
Yeah,
I'm at the point where there's like a bunch of ghosts that are giving me quests, and I'm like, all right, I'll do this because there's a bunch of like ambient dialogue that occurs, and it gives you the history of like the world. So I'm like, all right, I might as well like do these side quests while I learn about this world and everything. But yeah, the boss fight for the dragon was pretty amazing, and it's one of my favorite things from last year in gaming.
Is it better than the giant? The snow giant?
I want to say yes, but I don't remember the snow giant. So
what? It was so good. You have to like scale him and like attack different parts as you go.
Okay.
And you like use the environment to like knock things out of the way and smack into him.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. It's like a level basically, but it's a boss fight.
Yeah. I don't know. It's probably the same tier, but just the scale of the boss fight with the dragon is pretty sweet.
Nice.
But yeah, the one thing I don't like about that game though is that the skill trees kind of don't mean anything. Like the like
I feel max them out super early. Like I think I'm done.
Yeah, they feel like they don't mean anything. Like there's like a bunch of like I can't even describe what the skills are. The most notable one that I bought was I leveled up was that the kid would like do an extra damage if you uppercut a guy. I'm like, okay, that's sure.
So it's kind of like passive.
The kid stuff is actually really strong. I like his a lot.
Yeah.
But Kratos is possessive though. Kratos is I'm lost. His skills are mostly just like combo finishers. There's nothing there.
And there's only like one real combo finisher.
Yeah.
It's just R1 3 times and then R2. But yeah, like that kind of stuff doesn't really mean a whole lot. The real skills for him is like the new abilities, like throwing your axe out and then having it do like a whirlwind thing to enemies and like doing a slash that sends a shockwave and stuff like that. That's like the actual real skills that you actually want to level up and use. Yeah, I need to play some more of that because there's some weird shit going on right now, and I want to know what the hell's happening.
You gotta be close to beating it, because I thought I was close to beating it. You're further than me.
I feel like I'm not close. I feel like I'm maybe a fourth of the way.
No way.
I have no idea how long this game is. Like, I feel like it's a very long game. but I feel like I'm just about to start my like real adventure this time.
It's supposed to be like 20 to 30 hours, but I assumed that was with like all of the content.
Okay.
And I've spent probably 10 to 15 hours in the story.
Then maybe I'm halfway then.
I don't know. I mean, I spent a long time like just dooting around on the on the sea, like doing a lot of the side quest stuff at first.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I maxed out all the skill trees. But now I kind of just want to mainline it and get it done. Because I've already had some of the story stuff spoiled for me, and
yeah, so did I.
Yeah, but like the Jotunheim was supposed to be like the pinnacle, like the thing you're reaching for, and so now I'm not really sure what is. Like I assume
Did you get to the top? Did you get to the top of the mountain?
Yeah.
Okay, so then no, you did fight the dragon. You just don't remember it then. In order to get to the top of the mountain, you have to fight the dragon.
When is the dragon then?
It's like just before you get to the top.
Oh yeah, no, I did fight a dragon.
Yeah, it was a badass dragon fight.
It was okay. I didn't.
Oh, you didn't like
some of the stuff you had to do bothered me. It was a little tedious, but
it was fairly
the
simple.
scale was cool, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And like the taking out the tooth and all. But I thought you were talking about like the sea serpent.
No, that's not a dragon.
Well, that's what I was confused. So I was like, don't tell me that. I like that guy. I want to kill him.
No. Yeah, the sea serpent is not a dragon.
He'd be like a worm, which is a type of dragon.
It's a serpent. It's sea serpent. Like the world serpent is right in the name.
Okay, I play D&D, so I know the types of dragons.
Oh my god!
You can just check your privilege, all right?
That's fine. You can win this nerd battle.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to step to me on dragon knowledge, please.
Yeah, I want to play some more of that. It's pretty cool. What else now?
I might be further than you then. I won't say anything else.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I haven't played anything else. I'm getting to that point in my life where I don't play anything other than 1 or 2 games. So.
Games as service.
So yeah, let's move on to some news stuff then.
Ooh.
Okay. There was lots of news this week because PAX happened.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna go in order of the tabs that I have open.
Makes it more fun to try to connect them.
So I actually saw this news story today. Is Valve teases a VR headset called the Index. Valve has long been said to be working on its own VR headset, which the company has not been particularly secretive about. The Half-Life developer has been openly hired a virtual reality hardware team to put out their own headset and rely less on the HTC Vive as their primary partner for VR. Now, thanks to a teaser image, it looks like Valve is getting to announce their own headset within the next 2 months. The teaser page is for a headset which has the words Valve Index emblazoned on the plastic shell, revealing at least the name for the very few other details. The shape matches prototype images received upon upload VR last year, which at the time boasted a fairly large field of view relative to competitors Vive and Rift. And it kind of looks like there's a field of view slider.
Yeah, that's what I thought that was too.
Yeah.
And there's 2 cameras on the outside, looks like, for probably tracking.
Cool.
Possibly, yeah.
So you posted this story, and I guess I didn't realize that the HTC Vive isn't their headset.
No.
I was like, oh, a new Valve headset. But it's their first headset then, right?
Yeah, it's the first headset that they've made. The HTC Vive is obviously made by HTC, but it's just, Valve hired them to make that.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a bunch of VR news. Like there was the other thing with Oculus with their new headset that can attach to computers that's inside-out tracking, kind of like their phone thing. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Everything is
if you're into VR.
Yeah. They're getting to the point where the stuff is going to be wireless, and you won't have to have lanterns and stuff hanging up.
Yeah.
Lanterns.
The Vive, you have to like hang lights and stuff for the room scale VR.
That's stupid.
Mm.
Yeah, I think putting the cameras on there and letting it just track in front of you is going to be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, we're not going to like VR is never going to be the thing that becomes the thing. Like my brother and I were talking about this over the weekend, because he was showing me a new episode of The Orville, where like a guy falls in love with like a simulation basically, and the idea is going to be that this is just kind of the precursor to like holodecks. So like AR is going to be where it's at. You know, like once they figure out how to simulate the virtual world and like create these spaces that you can interact in, they're going to figure out how to bring those worlds outside to us. So this is really just building those worlds. And this is the only way we can make it happen right now.
So from Valve to Bethesda will not discuss the Elder Scrolls 6 or Starfield at E3 2019.
So don't ask.
So what are they going to present? I guess Doom Eternal is going to be there at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that it? Is that all they have?
That's all that I can think of right now. That's the only game that I'm interested in.
I'm sure they'll have something new.
Which is interesting that the Starfield's not going to be there, because that was going to be their next big thing. Was that game.
Yeah. Surprised there's not going to be anything on Starfield at least.
Because that's got to come in the next 2 years, right? If Elder Scrolls 6 is like probably 4 or 5 years out, Starfield's going to come before that.
Yeah,
I would think so.
So to not even like mention it is weird.
Right.
But the other part of this story that I enjoy
was Skyrim Grandma.
Yeah. Do you guys know what Skyrim Grandma is?
Yeah,
I have not heard about this until today.
How? Oh my gosh. It's the most delightful thing on the internet.
Yeah, she's so wholesome, and it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to explain what it is?
Yeah. Who?
Or yeah, okay.
She is not a what. She is a human being with feelings and thoughts and probably grandchildren. So Skyrim Grandma, also known as Shirley Curry, which is a fantastic name.
It is.
Is basically she's a Skyrim YouTuber. So she started just kind of uploading videos of herself playing Skyrim because it's just something she does. She loves the game. And if I remember correctly, it was a way to connect with her children, grandchildren, something like that, over like a shared love of video games and things like that, because they didn't live nearby. So like she could, give out these videos and like they could kind of bond over the game. And she got super into it and became like kind of a big name, like, known in the community at least. She's not like verified or anything, but she's done well for herself. And so everyone was kind of petitioning to get her in the next Elder Scrolls game because, she's not going to live forever. Like, she seems fairly spry for her age, but I don't know if she'll even live to see the release of, the next Elder Scrolls game. So Todd Howard and his infinite generosity and, Skyrim money brought her out to the Bethesda studios and put her into the new game. So we have yet to see any actual footage from the new, Elder Scrolls game, but they did show off like some off-screen, like on the computer footage of them mapping her motion capture onto the character model for her NPC.
So cool.
Which, yeah, she actually got to go out to the studios and do the motion capture for this NPC, do the voice lines, all of it.
So cool.
And she's going to be immortalized in this game,
That's
sequel
awesome.
to this game that she loves. And that's just precious. Like, there's so many bad things in the world. Sometimes you just need these nice, fun stories of, like, people that matter being eternalized forever. Like, there was the stuff about, like, Robin Williams in WoW and things like that. There's rumors that there was a character in Breath of the Wild that was based on him. Like, Leroy Jenkins, I think, is in in WoW somewhere. I don't remember. There's a lot of those stories. I don't remember all of them, but this one is especially wholesome. So good on you, Todd Howard, for putting some of that dirty money to good use.
I remember there was another time in Skyrim, I believe. There was I forget his last name, so I apologize, but his first name was Eric, and he was like really, really big into Elder Scrolls, so like he knew like just about everything. So unfortunately, he ended up dying of cancer. But before that, he actually visited Bethesda headquarters, and I guess he impressed them so much with his knowledge of the series. They actually made him a character. He's an NPC in Skyrim. His name is Eric the Slayer, I'm pretty sure. He doesn't look unique or anything like that, but like he's like a character, and he's based on this gentleman by the name of Eric. So it's really cool just to see that they're like keeping that sort of stuff going. I like that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And who knows if she'll even be important. She might just be a random person in town. But everyone's going to know. I mean,
exactly. Exactly. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, one wholesome story to another. Borderlands 3 is out. Or not out. The trailer came out. That's what I meant to say.
Here it is.
Yep.
Sorry for the
exclusive.
Yeah,
Borderlands 3 news is out.
Yeah, the trailer. First look.
Yes.
It'll
and
have
people are divisive.
It'll have over 1 billion guns in it, and a gun with legs that walks.
Yes, at least one of those billion guns will walk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I have a feeling that's probably like a class ability for a character we haven't seen yet.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks good. Like, I like that they kind of played to the, old characters are back, even like ones from Tales of the Borderlands, which I didn't think was canon. So it really does make this feel like a shared universe, because I haven't beaten any of them. Like, I've probably put the most time into Borderlands 2.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like a very dense shared universe.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of want to play through all of them again before 3 comes out, just to like understand the story better. Because it's always like I'll play with friends and we're just screwing around, like, oh, what's all this story? Like, I just want more guns. So I really want to like at least look up some videos of like the actual story, and then go into Borderlands 3 and just like play the game, like play it legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like there's a really cool story in there that I've missed out on.
The end of Borderlands 1 is pretty cool. It's you actually unlock the vault, right?
Right.
Yeah, in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to see what's on the other side of the vault, and it's fucked up. I won't spoil it for you.
Much story. It didn't have as much, but like that's basically the main thing. Like, get to the vault, open the vault, like, and then just whatever happens in between. Borderlands 2 has more of like a narrative, I guess, with Handsome Jack and the Hyperion Corporation, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But yeah. So the trailer looks good. I mean, the actual presentation, I guess, it didn't go so hot. So I just ended up watching it on YouTube. But yeah, it looks like a freaking Borderlands game, and some of these environments look pretty neat. Not gonna lie. I'm hoping because there was one. It was like the character was running towards like a cyberpunk-esque looking sort of backdrop, and I'm like, I hope you can run through those buildings. I hope that's not a skybox. Like, don't tease me like that. There was just all these cool looking locations that I want to be able to like run through them and shoot stuff like while I'm in like all of that. So I'm hoping like that's like they're showing us, hey, you can go over there, not just, hey, look at this cool backdrop we made, like that'd be really disappointing.
That was kind of the thing that intrigued me most about this game, is I feel like it's going to have some scale, because at multiple times they said explore the worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like there's going to be some like you're jumping around places, and like a lot of different vistas they showed off and things like that.
Yeah.
So there's more to this game, I think, than what we're expecting a Borderlands game to be.
I've heard that there's at least 4 worlds. Like that's the number that I saw like jumping around was like 4 to 3 or something like that worlds.
Okay. I'm assuming they'll have DLC worlds too that they'll add.
Yeah.
Yes, somewhere between 4 and 3 worlds.
Perhaps 3.5. But yeah, Unreal Engine 4 is looking good. I mean, It's looking like a more polished Borderlands game, and I just love this style. I just love that art style and everything like that, and just the characters. So yeah, this should be cool. I'm hoping the guns are just as unique and interesting as they have been, because I mean they're that's one of the big things they're bragging about is how darn many there are of them. So yeah, it should be a fun time.
Yeah, the end
one
of
thing I'll say is this doesn't seem to look as good as I would expect like a current gen Borderlands to look. It looks very much like a nicer version of what we got before. Which is why I'm okay with like the 4K packs and stuff coming to the old games. Because I feel like it's just going to make it look like this. Like, that's not bad, but I kind of wanted a little bit more like something.
It looks like what I remember it looking. Like I haven't gone back to those games in so long, but like I don't want to go back because I think it'll just be like really muddy textures. Now
2 is fine.
Really not bad.
2 is fine. One is a little. Maybe wait for the remastered one. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm assuming since they're on the new Unreal Engine, they're probably just gonna like show off all like the cool post processing and stuff like that, and just like how. I remember during the tech demo, they were showing off how light like passes through like a tent or something like that, and you can see the shadows of the people on the other side. It was just all this cool fancy stuff. So I'm thinking that's kind of where they're going to like flex a lot of the engine's power, because I mean the art style is the art style. I don't know. I'm not sure what more you can do to it other than like having like character models with higher polygon counts or something like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, so the end of Borderlands 2, like, it makes sense that there's a whole lot of other planets, and I hope
Don't spoil it.
I hope that like each planet has like a raid or something to it, because of what happened at the end of Borderlands 2.
Yeah, I can see more of a games as service type thing here.
Yeah, like no doubt there's like the Destiny parallels to it, Yeah, like it needs to have like a whole lot of like clan management and raids and like stuff that keeps you coming back and getting more loot. Like I want to have unique exotics. Like I know the whole thing is that it's all randomly generated guns, but I kind of wanted like a gun with a story. Like I talked about that way before. Like I want.
There are a few guns like that in 2. There's not very many though.
I think those are those were introduced in like the DLCs, right?
I think. Maybe.
Yeah,
possibly.
I didn't play a whole lot of Borderlands 2 DLC, so.
Yeah, there are some unique guns, but yeah, I get what you're saying though. Like a gun with a story, kind of like it's not just like here's a gun with a unique name, because but yeah, hopefully I'm just hoping that they've listened to the fans' feedback over the years and they're just gonna take what works, leave what doesn't work, and it's kind of like I was saying before, like they've been out of like quote unquote like. Not trying to make a pun, they've been out of the game for a while, and there's just all these other looter shooters that have come along and just innovated the title, not necessarily like turned it on its head, but they've like introduced things that like quality of life things. Like for example, like one of my favorite things about Destiny is like the infusion thing. It's like, oh, this gun sucks, but it's more powerful, but I hate it. But I have this other gun that's like not as strong, but I like it, so I can take the power from this and put it into that. Like if they introduce something like that, I feel like that's one thing that I feel like they kind of like have to do or something like that, because it's I don't know, because some people are like, just move on to the next thing, move on to the next gun. Some people like to hold on to their guns for a while, so I'm hoping to have some kind of like reroll system, something like that. But other than that, I mean it's looking good so far. I mean, for just as much as we've seen in the reveal trailer, I'm hoping traversal is kind of more emphasis, not just like the weird like moon jumps, because I mean those are fun at first, but it's just like, I would like to see some more traversal, like be able to slide or like double jump even, or just like
I forgot there wasn't double jump.
Yeah, it's easy to forget because it seems like you would have double jump in a game like that. But yeah,
I think the main thing they need to change, I mentioned that earlier, is the inventory management. Like you get a new gun or whatever, and you go into your inventory to see what you got, and it's just there with everything else. Like it doesn't sort by new or like highlight what things are new compared to what's old or anything like that. And it's just kind of a clunky interface in general. I on multiple times like would switch out the gun instead of picking it up, and then like the gun you did have ends up in your inventory with everything else, and you don't remember which one it was.
Right.
And it's like there's too many guns for it to be such a messy interface. and too many gun types. Like, I mean, there's 7 different element types, I think, with like the slag and acid and fire and ice and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then there's also like the snipers and all that. So it's like Destiny, I think, handles that really well because you can switch out weapons super easy for the most part. Mm-hmm. Borderlands, like I tried to, like we were fighting a bunch of robots, and so I wanted to switch over to an acid weapon. And I was like, cover me for a second, like ran over into an area, like pulled up the menu, tried to find the weapon I was looking for from like basically a single layer, like drop down, like, you can only see maybe 3 or 4 weapons at once. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And they don't show the element types on them until you go to them. So there's no easy way to like sort, except unless you sort by element. But then again, that takes time. Mm-hmm. And it's not a very visually interesting system. So it was built on old hardware. Like I get that, but we've evolved in 7 years or whatever.
It's probably made more for like console players, just with the size of the tiles and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Just make it visible on the TV screen. I get it, but it would be nice, like for example, just in Skyrim. One of the things I liked about playing Skyrim on PC is you can do the loadouts. So it's like if you like hit a button, or you can favorite stuff. So if you like just hit a button, just swap to this like gun. So we can make this gun favorite in your thing, make it hotkey it or whatever. That was one of those cool things. And like something like that in this sort of game would be really cool. That'd be really good, especially considering all
Diablo 3 does that too. You can have like 2 or 3 sets.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so yeah, it's like I said, they're just gonna really have to bring the features, because they have the art style. They have you have a good engine to work with. They have solid shooting mechanics. It's just like the quality of life stuff at this point, because that's going to really make the difference between someone choosing to play Borderlands or choosing to play Destiny or Anthem or whatever other looter shooter.
They're not going to choose to play Anthem. Let's be honest.
Division 2.
not probably not anymore after all that's happened. But I mean maybe there's I'm sure there's
still a scene. I still have friends on my friends list that play it.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I'm excited. For it. The new characters look good. I'm interested to see what their abilities are like. So
yeah. Plus, if they don't do too much to it, there's not going to be enough reason for people to play Borderlands 3 over 1, 2, and pre-sequel in 4K. Like the fact that they're putting all of those updates out for those old games to kind of like get you ready. Mm-hmm. Like, makes me think that they have to be separating 3 out, or they're just going to be reminding people, like, remember how similar these 3 games play? Here's another one. Because by the time pre-sequel came out, people were kind of burnt out, I think. Like, they all felt very samey.
Yeah. No, you're right. So, I mean, hopefully that's not the case, because, I mean, I've heard, before this release trailer, I've heard, Borderlands 3 referred to as the big one. So I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping that's true, because they have some competition now, quite a bit, a lot more than they had before. So
yeah, for sure. But we'll have more information on April 3rd, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Speaking of April 3rd, some follow up.
Hoping you were going to take that.
Following up is Borderlands Game of the Year edition, getting updates to the original game. So Lo, you get your updates.
Yoo-hoo!
You get your mini map.
Awesome. I'm happy.
Yep.
That's a good thing.
And auto pickups. I didn't realize those weren't a thing.
Yeah, you had to keep hammering the button. One. Yeah.
It's rough. You either hammer the button or you just do like a long press, and like if you
sucks all the guns into you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's rough. Dealing with having to pick up stuff like that is rough. Yeah, so I'm happy about that. What else are they adding?
You're able to lock and label weapons as junk.
Ooh. That's handy.
Yep. They're also adding the DLC to the PSVR version, so that's cool. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then also the shift key program. What's going on with this program?
So the shift keys, those are interesting. So if you can get these codes from Gearbox, they have their respective Borderlands social media, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter. So they'll occasionally post these keys. So you can grab these keys, put them into the game, and it'll give you a golden key, right? So in Borderlands 2, in the main kind of hub town, there's a golden chest. So you guess what? You use the golden key to open the golden chest, and you get shit. It's you usually get like a higher tier weapon that'll scale to your current level. So it's usually what I like to do is I'll like hoard a bunch of keys and just like open the thing every couple levels or so, like when my weapons are starting to feel kind of stale. But yeah, this is a cool feature that they're adding because it's just kind of like a way to just get a badass gun, just and just by following them on social media and putting in a code. It's probably their way to just keep people engaged and stuff too. It seems like a really interesting addition to make for a game so old. Also, but hey, I mean, it's. I'm assuming it's something that the fans have asked for. One thing I noticed that is not on here though is I didn't see anything about FOV sliders, and I feel like that should be a thing too. But I guess we'll just have to see. Maybe there's stuff we don't know. Maybe there's stuff that hasn't been announced. Yeah, I'm sure. Like that's one of the biggest complaints about the damn FOV, and you had to like go through like hoops in order to change it. It was like it wasn't like an easy thing.
You have to edit any files.
Yeah, actually, with Borderlands 1, it's like not even that. You have to like go into like the input files, and you have to designate a hotkey for the FOV that you want. So you have to say like you have to like bind FOV like 90. Or 95 to F9 or something.
Wow.
You can't just go into the console and just FOV.
You can't go into the ini file and just like FOV equals 100. Crazy. No, that's nuts.
No, it's not that. Not for Borderlands 1 anyways, and it's a drag. But it's an old game. It's an older game. It was made more for like TVs and stuff like that back in the day. It was definitely like a game geared towards like console players. But yeah. Hopefully we'll get that FOV slider because that'd be cool. That'd be great.
My favorite thing is that this is being called the Game of the Year edition.
Right.
Like 9 years after its release.
Awkward. I think there's already technically a Game of the Year edition on one of the last gen consoles too. I think it was 360 maybe? I don't know. But
it's real goofy.
It is goofy. But like but hey, whatever, I can't complain. We're getting an update for a very good game, so
yeah, exactly. And I was just reading that I think it's supposed to be on GOG right now for like $5, so I might just do that and then get the free update.
There you go. Cool.
Yeah,
but can you play with Steam friends on GOG?
Maybe.
Yeah, you just redeem the Steam code.
Okay.
I mean, I'll double check that.
Yeah. Because I know they have sometimes GOG is a little weird about that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Like, I think that. Well, you had issues with that on No Man's Sky, didn't you? Was that GOG?
That was when they added the multiplayer. I guess it came to the GOG version like much later. I think it's added now, but yeah, they don't always receive the updates at the same time. So I think that. I don't know. That might be an issue at some point, but I don't know. It's like is it its own
launcher? I thought it was just one of those where like they give you a key.
It is its own launcher. There are some games
have their own launcher. Yeah.
There are some games that you can redeem if you have it in your GOG library. You can redeem it on Steam and actually like play it in Steam. Some games are like that. Not all of them. So I don't know if this is going to be one of them. We'll just have to wait and see. But
yeah.
We'll see if it's elsewhere.
Yeah. Another quick thing about GOG is that Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 1 are on there now. And if you want to play the multiplayer, you have to go into like the classic version and like open up ports and stuff and like log into Battle.net. It's
old school.
Yeah, there's a lot of old school shit about that. Like I wish they had a better system or did the work to like update the multiplayer for those games.
Integrate it into the actual Battle.net maybe? Like
yeah, it's just Blizzard didn't want to deal with the work on it, so they're like, "Here, GOG, you do it." And GOG's like, "Okay, we'll just leave the old shit in."
yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of players out there that are like, "Yes, they didn't mess with my game, sweet," But at the same time,
opening ports, like, who wants to do that anymore?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I hate forwarding ports. It's one of my least favorite things to do. I'm like. It's like, hey, there's multiplayer, cool, yeah, you gotta forward port stuff. No, well, I don't know, guys. Let's play something else.
Right. Yeah, keeping up with the Borderlands news is that Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel are also getting 4K texture packs. So yeah, all this stuff is going to be free downloads for people that already have it.
Yeah, just a little side note. The reason I posted that particular article is because it's just this one sentence or a couple of sentences with some extra details. It says the pack won't just include textures though. It'll add extra graphic touches like high resolution dynamic shadows, improved screen space ambient occlusion, better anti-aliasing, and I'm assuming a couple other things. So it sounds like they're kind of optimizing the game a little bit and just sort of improving it just as far as like some of the post-processing stuff. So that's neat. That's cool. It's not like just a straight texture pack. So
I wish my computer like detected my TV was HDR because I don't think it does. And it has HDR available on it, and it's 4K, but I can't like do anything with it. It kind of sucks.
Weird.
My monitor is when it's connected through DisplayPort, which is why I got a DisplayPort for it.
Yeah.
And it auto detects that.
Okay.
So maybe maybe it's because it's a TV connected to a computer.
Yeah, with it's connected via display to HDMI. So.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I have it so that it's like one screen, so 1 and 3 are the same. So maybe that's why. But yeah, the only thing that plays HDR in 4K is my Xbox One S. So
yeah,
see,
yeah,
interesting.
That's a bummer.
I just wanted to bring that up because I actually just booted up Assassin's Creed Odyssey to spend my Uplay coins before they expire.
Oh,
and it's like, hey, your TV has HDR. I'm like, oh yeah. I should probably use this. Like, yeah. All right. Risk of Rain 2 is up. Did you guys play the first one?
No.
Neither did
I heard about it though. I went back.
They're doing a cool thing where if it's currently on sale for $20, and if you buy a copy before March 30th. Most people won't know this. Before March 30th, then you get an additional one for free.
That's cool.
So there's buy one, get one free sale right now, and that's neat. But I'm still not going to buy it, because I don't care.
Right.
You're just looking for someone to give you a copy, that's all.
I mean, I wouldn't do it. No,
it's a cool
for the
game.
longest time, I'm calling him out. Link the Informer, for the longest time, said he was going to get me a copy of Risk of Rain, because he had an extra from a friend.
Oh.
Still don't own that game.
Oh.
This is like 2 years ago.
Oh.
Did you call him out on this before, too? I feel like you did.
I think I might have.
You might have. Yeah, well, you know, time to re-up.
I have a sequel out, so I'm definitely calling him out.
There's probably a reason why he hasn't given you the copy, because, like, Canadian Steam games don't work with Americans now for some reason.
What?
Yeah, there's, like, a weird thing where you can't, like, buy games or give games to Americans now.
Was it that way 2 years ago?
I think so, actually. I don't know. It's ever since our dollar has shit the bucket, it's been like that.
I mean, like it was a key. Like he already had the key.
Okay, so maybe maybe that'll work then. But yeah, that's why I can't buy you guys games, because I'm like, well, I can't buy games for other people.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steam just doesn't like money, I guess.
I guess.
No, it's all this shit with VATs and.
Right.
I make invoices for work now for other countries, so I have to I have to use VATs and stuff, and it's weird. I don't like it. I don't even know what a VAT is, but I make them.
I don't know what it stands for.
It's some tax thing.
It's like a tax thing.
Breath of the Wild co-developer hiring for another Zelda project.
Oh.
Monolith Soft, who also made the Xenoblade games recently. So they're known for like open world games, basically.
Known for anime.
Sure. But they did co-develop Breath of the Wild, mostly the open world elements, like the world building. They helped with a lot of that. They also helped with Skyward Sword in similar ways, and artistic and like kind of landscaping, things like that. So theories are that this is going to be a kind of a Majora's Mask style sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Ooh.
And Monolith Soft Microsoft is kind of like building that new, those new elements of the world. So it'll probably be the same map. I assumed this game was going to be released this year, honestly. Like, when they first were talking about a Zelda sequel, I was like, they're going to put that out like a year later. But now we've already got the Link's Awakening remake and Cadence of Hyrule this year, so they can afford to put a Zelda game off until next year. But if they're just now hiring for world-building stuff, it's hard to say if this would even be out next year.
Right.
Nintendo started hiring for a Zelda project last year, so I'm sure that was like the early coding and development stuff, and this is just like, hey, let's help build this world. But that's still going to be, a while.
Right.
Like, well, again, we can't really talk about your job, but you were on like a year-long contract for QA. Like, that is just the QA part.
Mm-hmm.
So to think like developing a game and releasing it in a year, that's unrealistic.
Right.
Which is kind of a bummer, because I would assume we're going to get a Zelda title next year, and if it's not like the next main entry, then it'd be another spin-off, like a Skyward Sword remake or something. Fine. Like, Skyward Sword could be a lot better if they remade it.
Yeah.
But I think they need to actually remake it, not just like do a graphical upgrade. They need to like remake it in the Breath of the Wild engine and actually make it like a connected world and all this. They'd have to fundamentally change the game basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see that happening, so I'm not sure I'd care even if they made it. But I want to know what this is. That's for sure.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
I doubt it's the mobile game they're talking about.
Ooh, hope not.
Right. But definitely another open world Zelda game. I think we can pretty much assume that.
Going from one open world to another, Minecraft updates removes the mentions of Notch, the game's creator, from the splash screen.
He was just another notch on their belt.
Nice. I guess Ben doesn't like Notch for some reason.
Notch is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like him. I don't really follow the tale of Notch, so I don't really know how.
All I know is that he's a bigot. That's about it.
Oh, well, I don't like him either now.
He's one of those guys that really likes his hashtag hot takes. And they're never good.
Oh.
They're always controversial. But he won't stop doing them.
He's a mega man.
What?
Mega man.
Oh, MAGA. I thought you said mega.
Yeah.
That's
but yeah, his name has only been removed from the splash screen. It's still in the credits, so I don't know. It
Well,
seems
they
like
have to credit the author.
Yeah. It seems like a whole do about nothing to me.
It is a change. Like, it's basically removing the fact that he is a major part, because people aren't going to make it to the credits. That's where they have to leave him. But if they can take out as much reference to him as possible, that's still kind of a big deal when he made the game and sold it to Microsoft.
He's not the only one that made that game.
No, I know. But, like, he's the known creator.
They could have put Dinnerbone on there. He's, at least to me, he's just well as known. But maybe not.
Fair. My favorite thing in this article is the tweet that's like, who made this game? No one. It came from space.
It came from Microsoft.
Like, Minecraft is just a thing that exists now. No one thinks about who made it, like where it came from, or it's just Minecraft. It's just this thing.
It's always been here.
Children were born into Minecraft.
That's true. That's very true.
There's like 6 or 7-year-olds that don't know a time before it, and it's all they play.
There's like 12-year-olds that are like.
Is it that old?
It's got to be over 10 years, man.
I mean, like modern like Minecraft was a very different beast in the beginning.
But it still blew up.
I remember
Yeah.
when it was first. I remember when it was first like a thing, and it was like, oh, one of my friends was like, oh, you should try this Minecraft game. I remember it was like, oh, like I think it was like really like it was like stupidly low price. It was like $1 or $2, something like that. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll try it. Then I played it for a while. I'm like, nah, this will never catch on. And then I never played it again. Oh,
I think
how
it might.
wrong
I think it
was.
might be like 10 years old now.
Really?
It must be.
Huh.
Yeah, I guess it because I was in an apartment in college in like 2009 maybe.
Yeah, 2009.
And I had just kind of heard, I was like, you need to get into this. I was like, I don't know. Like it's I guess I'll try it just to play with people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very different back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's over 10 years old. It has to be.
The official release date is May 17th, 2009, but I must have played the version that came out in like 2008.
Probably.
Yeah. Because I remember it was still like browser based or something when I played it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an old game. Yeah, we're old.
We are. Holy shit.
Reminiscent to the early days of Minecraft.
Remember just hanging out before a lecture, just in the halls of university, just
totally
digging some grass and then getting a little rock and making an axe. And that's about it.
Back in my day, we had to build snow blocks 2 miles uphill both ways.
Back in my day, there were no snow blocks.
It was just water everywhere.
Just water and lava.
Water and lava. Wow, Grandpa, your life is crazy.
Speaking of some old games, Jedi Knight meets Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance in an action RPG called Warlander.
Yes.
To be clear, this is a new game.
Yes, it's just the concepts of those games in one game.
Yeah. It looks awesome.
It does. Looks fun.
The first game from a new developer out of somewhere weird. Serbia.
Wow.
Interesting.
Which you don't hear a lot of studios out of Serbia.
No, you don't.
I didn't mean the country itself is weird. Yeah, I mean it has a noticeably like indie look to it. Like it's not high quality 3D or anything.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a HD remake or remaster, I should say, like Legacy of Kain.
Oh, that's what it reminds me.
That's a good way to put
style.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that obviously that was a PS1 game. It looks like garbage now. But this looks like what we remember Legacy of Kain looking like.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's very pretty, but it's not, AAA by any means. But yeah, it's got a really cool style. I love the beam sword.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as long as the combat's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a first game, and it's good enough to be heavily promoted all over the place.
Right.
Yeah, that's where it meets the Metal Gear Rising part, is the accurate sword slashing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Decapitations.
Yeah, like cutting people through in different areas. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of hoping it strikes that, like, Zelda kind of Darksiders vibe, more so than just, like, a traditional hack-and-slash adventure game. I can't really tell right now.
Yeah. It'd be nice to have some kind of, like, platforming or some sort of, like, more interactions with the environment, stuff like that. Things to, like, kind of break up, like, the combat and things.
Exactly.
Final Fantasy 15 studio begins work on a new AAA game. Final Fantasy 15 director illuminates us on dev's next project. Should we even talk about it? It won't come out for like another 10 years.
Is it Final Fantasy 15 too?
It's for sure Final Fantasy 16. Like, I don't think there's any doubt about that. They're not going to make anything else in the Final Fantasy 15 universe since the main guy left.
Since they beat that dead horse.
But it's going to be on that same engine, so it should come out a lot faster.
Oh, cool.
Maybe, 5 to 6 years instead of 10.
Okay.
But I also don't really like that engine very much.
It's very pretty. That's about it.
Yeah.
It is.
But like Kingdom Hearts 3 used it too, and it's just kind of all over the place.
That's kind of like taking all those different styles of those movies and trying to make something out of it.
Yeah, I just mean like gameplay wise, it's all over the place.
Okay.
It's very floaty, and like
Mhm.
the attacks don't really feel like they hit that hard, and I don't know.
Sure.
I'm just a crotchety old man that misses the AAA turn-based RPG days. Because we still get turn-based RPGs, but they're not the AAA titles, except
You know
Dragon
what?
Quest
You're
XI.
right. Yeah, you have a point there. I remember back. back in the day.
No,
when-
Dragon Quest XI and Persona 5. Those are both fairly AAA.
Oh. Yeah. There you go. There's not many though. There's not like
No.
I feel like I don't know. I just remember back in the day. It was like, oh, Final Fantasy VII. Play this game. It's great. Everyone should know about it. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, the PS1 era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember those commercials even still crazy.
Speaking of back in my day, Streets of Rage 4. It's a new game.
Ah, yes.
In the Streets of Rage series.
I haven't heard that name in years.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Gush over your streets.
There's not too much to this article. It just shows a little bit more of the actual gameplay, showing off some more of the art style, some of this great sprite work that has been that they have in store for us. So also a nice thing that returns to the series is juggling. You're able to juggle enemies. So like if we're beating up people on the streets and I punch a guy up in the air, like one of you guys can jump in, kick him, knock him back towards me. We can just sort of it's like a fun game. It's a game within a game.
It's volleyball, but with people.
Yeah, but the game's still looking pretty good. And there is some artwork that has two silhouetted characters in the background. I'm assuming one of them has a guitar because there's a silhouette of a guitar.
Yeah,
also.
It looks like a guitar. Yeah.
The other guy looks like some kind of bionic dude. I'm kind of hoping they bring back some of the classic characters, but I don't know. Either way, it'll be a fun beat 'em up game. I'm hoping they just have more playable characters because I don't see any reason why they couldn't. But again, that's just going to be more sprite work for them to do. But I don't know. It's still coming along, and I'm just looking forward to it. Yeah. So
I like the art style, but I never play it.
Yeah, the art style is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. But yeah, it's a beat 'em up, so it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I'm not getting involved transitioning. Just some sad news here. EA lays off 350 employees in marketing, publishing, and operations divisions.
Damn you, EA.
I mean, not to make too much of a joke, but they're really bad at marketing, so apparently those people aren't doing their job anyway.
Ouch.
Jeez.
They are. I mean,
9,000 person company. Wow. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's still a pretty substantial amount for one run of firings.
Yeah.
Right. That's a lot of people losing their jobs. Damn.
Yeah. I think it said 4%. 4% of the company was fired all at once.
Damn.
Jeez. Man, like I don't even know what to say to that. That's crazy.
I'm sure it's part of like a downsizing attempt because these do sound like, I mean, no disrespect. I work in communications. I know that these positions, it sounds like downsizing the non-essential employees.
Specifically Japan and Russia.
Yeah, signs of change like publishing. You don't have to worry about that as much when everything's digital.
Mm-hmm.
Marketing, I already made a joke about that, but really their marketing has not been great, so maybe they don't find that important.
Mm-hmm.
And operations can be literally anything on the behind the scenes stuff. I'm sure they're just going to overload everyone else more. Like, EA is garbage. Do we really care? Like, I feel bad for all these people. It really sucks. But hopefully they'll find better companies to work for.
Yeah.
Moving into something a little bit lighter, State of Play from Sony. So they've had their first State of Play, guys.
The Sony Direct?
Yeah, Sony Direct.
That's
kind of doing a disservice to Nintendo Directs because those are better.
I'm sorry. I was just, you know what I'm getting at.
I did. Just a pro tip for everyone out there: like whenever I do these shows, I never watch or read any of this news. So
he likes to keep things fresh.
Brilliant. What a great pro tip. Pro tip: be totally unprepared for your own show.
Yep. Yeah. The only thing that I really know that came out of this was Iron Man VR and the No Man's Sky VR, which I'm interested in. I kind of want to try those out.
Yeah, this presentation was like 90% VR.
Hey, Five
and then a
Nights
new
at
Mortal
Freddy's
Kombat
VR.
trailer.
Oh, there's Mortal Kombat stuff?
Yeah, well,
looks like there's some
trailer.
on Days
It's later
Gone.
on. Ben put it in there. But oh yeah, and they actually had a pretty good like kind of deep dive of Concrete Genie. That that I was gonna say confetti, graffiti game. That actually made it look like a game instead of just a tech demo. But I mean, I don't care about it personally, but it seems like a cool game. Like, kind of on the exclusive indie side, which is interesting. Yeah, it was mostly VR, and not even that great of looking VR. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be where they like dump their non-essential stuff, like kind of how they've done like the PSX pre-show and things like that, where they put all their VR and indies and stuff. This is going to be that now.
So stuff for me to look at.
Probably, even though you didn't watch it.
Right, exactly.
But like Nintendo Directs are big things. Like that's where they make all their big announcements now. This felt like second tier Sony, like we just have to announce these somewhere things.
Yeah.
Sony will also stop retailers from selling PS4 download codes starting April.
This seems gross. Basically, stores like GameStop and stuff like that can't sell actual codes for games. They can only sell like the currency cards.
Yeah.
And physical titles, obviously.
That is so nonsensical.
Yeah. There's not really any reason.
Yeah.
They're cutting out the middleman, like so if
guess.
GameStop getting that money they get.
But there's nothing good about doing like this isn't good press.
No.
Like there's no positive spin on this.
Right.
It just makes them look bad. So what's the point? Is it really worth the bottom line of making themselves look bad? Yes. They're already not great in people's minds. One of my friends who's been like an avid Sony fanboy, like as long as he's been a Nintendo fanboy, said that he was thinking of selling his PS4 Pro and getting an Xbox One X because he just doesn't really care about Sony anymore.
Wow.
Like, that's insane to me.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I know some people out there, they love their Sony too. So I mean, if it's anything like what I'm thinking, then that is a statement. you know?
Especially since consoles are coming right around the corner,
Right. I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't really cared about mine. Like, I like it for the exclusives, but I don't really boot it up aside from that. The stuff I already own on it, cool. Things I can only get on it, fine, I guess. But yeah. These days, if I can get something on PC or Switch, I will.
Yeah, I don't know. I play the way that I play my games is PC and then PS4, then Xbox, and then Switch. Like, oh no, not even Switch, 3DS, and then Switch.
What?
Yeah, I barely play my Switch.
Really?
I've been thinking of selling it recently because apparently there's going to be some new ones coming out sometime. So maybe I'll sell it and then upgrade and not play my Switch.
Sell it to Mo. He's got some money coming in.
Yeah. Nice steady money.
Yeah, I'll ship it to you. Yeah, so where's that story for the new Switch stuff? Yeah, alright. Nintendo allegedly set to release 2 new Switch models. A report by Wall Street Journal claims Nintendo has enhanced variant of the Switch in development, bolstered with features targeted at avid video gamers. This will be joined by a cheaper option of the console for casual players with the intent of acting as a successor for the 3DS. So the enhanced version reportedly won't be as powerful as PS4 Pro or Xbox One X. The more casual focused console will drop functions from the standard Switch such as controller vibration in order to cut costs.
Interesting.
Seems like it's a mistake when some games like actively use the vibration, but you know, like Mario Party minigame, like you wouldn't be able to play Mario Party on it.
Very interesting.
That's a plus then.
Well, fair. But it wouldn't be catered to games like that. But
yeah.
they would probably have to put new labels on there that say, like, requires HD Rumble and things like that, which is kind of unnecessary. But I think this all sounds great. Like, the main things I want from a new Switch is the ability to be 1080p on docked or undocked. I don't need 4K or anything. I think that's unnecessary at this point. And a steady 1080p 60 frames a second when docked. Because we get some rough frame rates on some of these games already. And if they're trying to future-proof this thing, they need it to be a little bit above and beyond so that now it can always hit 60. And in the future, they can get between 30 and 60. But it should never go under. There's regular like third-party port type games that go under. Most of the things made by Panic Button are good. Like, they do a good job. But like the eShop garbage performs pretty badly. And then get rid of that bezel on the handheld. Like, make it. It would probably only be like maybe an 8-inch screen, but it would just make it look a lot better.
Yeah. The big old fat black bezel. It's...
Right. Because you wouldn't have to make the device itself bigger at all. Just stretch the screen out a little bit, and it would make all the difference.
Yeah.
And then the other device could still be a 7-inch screen, but smaller. Like, the actual thing itself would be smaller, because it would be catering more to portable.
Yeah.
I think that would be perfect. You have a 7-inch, smaller, like, portable-only Switch with no dock, no docking abilities, controllers that don't disconnect, and probably like no like IR sensor and things like that. And then the higher end one that maybe has a slightly redesigned Joy-Con feel to it, something a little more premium, bigger screen, higher resolution output on that screen, and just a little beefier. Like I was saying, to get the new Tegra chip in there, like the newest generation one that came out like right around the time the Switch came out. And people were kind of speculating, like, we know what's on Tegra hardware. Is it going to be the old one or the new one? Turns out it was the old one from like 2 years ago. So now it's like 4 years old. Even just putting the last Tegra, which is now 2 years old, would still like demolish the old performance and not be too expensive because it'd be about the same as what the old Tegra was when the Switch came out. So it'd make a lot of sense just to do that generational jump. They could probably do better if they wanted, but I would see them just doing the generational jump. Because that Tegra was like... it wasn't quite PS4 levels. Wait, sorry, no, it was PS4 levels. It wasn't like PS4 Pro levels. Because at the time, they were speculating that if they used that Tegra in the Switch, like at launch, it would be like on par with the PS4 and Xbox One. But they didn't. So they've had to have this, this Panic Button team porting everything over for them. Like, probably super expensive porting costs that they're footing to get all these games on their system. You have to weigh the pros and cons there. Like, keep the team. They still need them. They can get a lot more day-and-date ports and things like that. Instead of, like, Wolfenstein and Doom that came, years later. Or months later, I guess, in Wolfenstein's case. But I think the sequel is also coming later, as is Doom Eternal. And then, well, no, they'd still have to, because they'd still be supporting the old model. So they'd still need the team to, dang it. That sucks whenever you're working with old hardware too. Because they have to be able to cater to the, the more portable one and the old model as well as the new one. So it'd just be a PS4 Pro situation where you're catering to two levels of hardware specs. But whatever. Point is, I wanted a new one. That's beefier. I don't care about anyone else.
Yeah. Or the Rings Gollum video game in the works from German studio.
What is this?
Daedalus. Did Ben put this in here?
No, I did. I just don't know what it is. It's stupid.
Right. It's a Gollum video game.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The what is this was more like hyperbolic or metaphorical, whatever. Rhetorical, that's the thing. Yeah. It's supposed to follow, since you didn't read this, I'm sure. It's supposed to follow Gollum, like, before he became a gross little thing. Like, basically right after he got the ring, kind of his, like, deterioration into, like, schizophrenia and stuff like that. And my favorite thing is, like, a quote from the developers about why this game makes sense to make. It doesn't, by the way. Spoilers. It's a stupid idea. It said... Crap, hold on, where is it? I lost it. Was I reading something else?
Our goal was to present a storytelling experience.
No, here it is. I got
4
it.
years ago. Okay.
You don't have to vamp, I got it. It said you already have that big conflict on the character. 2 voices talking to you continuously, which means there's a good reason for there are decisions to make in the game. The Smeagol decisions or the Gollum decisions. They're like, we got this idea. This is exactly what we pitched. Okay, everyone loves choices in their games. So we can make that split.
So let's take the character that has schizophrenia.
Right. Like that's it. They're like, we got to make more Lord of the Rings stuff, and we have this character that naturally has choices built into his character. It's stupid.
This could go really badly.
Yeah. Like, he's not a fighter or anything.
Right.
Not even that, but like the whole thing of like the 2 different voices in his head and schizophrenia. Like, how are they going to handle that?
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody handles that well.
No. Yeah. I don't expect the Germans to handle that well either.
No.
I can say that because I'm half German, so.
So that makes it okay.
It makes it okay. And last news story is Persona 5 The Royal is announced. There's going to be new news coming April 24th, but Persona 5 The Royal, or Persona 5R. Cool. Yay, a new Persona! Woo!
So, like, a while back we mentioned that there was like trademarks for Persona 5R and 5S, right?
Did we say that?
And like something else. I don't know. There was news about it. I don't know if we talked about it. Because I don't know anything about Persona 5. That's the problem. Or Persona really in general. But I'm pretty sure there was a bunch of trademarks for different Persona games. And like they announced this one without anything for the Switch, even though we've got Joker coming to Smash before the end of April.
Oh, right. The S is going to stand for the Switch version.
So yeah, I'm thinking that additional news on April 24th. We're going to get more on this, and then we're also going to get a Persona 5S announcement for Switch, like available now. And then they're going to end it with a Joker trailer for Smash.
I'm going to put some Nintendo stuff in it because that's what they always do.
Right. So I think April 24th is either going to be like a big, Persona Direct type thing, like Atlas just doing a conference or something,
Persona
and announcing
Day.
all these things, or what?
Persona Day. Unleash your Persona today.
Or it'll be... Well, no, it wouldn't be a Nintendo Direct because it wouldn't be like a PlayStation exclusive thing during a Nintendo Direct. But I could see P5S and Joker for Smash being announced in a Nintendo Direct. So, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, when you get these things split like that, all of these things coming before the end of April. Yeah.
Yep.
I also don't really care. I might get Persona if it came to Switch, but
it's a good ass JRPG, man.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get Dragon Quest XI when it comes to Switch, but that's not till fall, so it depends on when it's coming, if I would get it or not.
Persona's like Pokemon, but cooler.
I don't think you understand how cool Pokemon is.
I think I do.
Agree to disagree.
Yes. Justin, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and soon Twitch. If they look up Zero Score. I have a video out currently on my YouTube channel about why the new Zelda spin-off game Cadence of Hyrule is important for Nintendo, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's kind of one of those, like, I just had an opinion and wanted to share it, so it's like audio only with stuff over it. But But I like how it turned out, and I had some fun little bits in there that I played around with. So check that out if you get a chance. It hasn't gotten enough love, and it makes me sad.
Aw. Lo. I think Lo's gone.
Did he die?
It looks like it.
He might have died. You can find Lo if you go to places and search Nero the Hero, either with numbers or without.
N3ROTHE
Nope,
H3RO. Yeah, there you
it's
go.
0, not O.
H3RO.
H3R0.
Oh.
O is a letter.
Yeah, but O is also a number.
Yeah, but how do you distinguish between them? Exactly.
That's a good point.
You have to say it's a number.
He's been saying it for the past 2 years, okay? I'm just copying what he says.
Well, maybe that's why no one's finding him. I also don't... I'm sure people are. I also don't talk about my underscore, so we're all bad at this.
I'm the only one with an actual handle that works.
What about
your
handles?
handle?
I guess Marvelous Iggy.
Yeah, Marvelous Iggy's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good handle.
Lo, are you back?
Handle.
I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was weird because I could still hear you guys, but you couldn't hear me all of a sudden. So it's like, oh, he's gone. I'm like, no, I'm still here. And there's like, no, yeah, he's gone. No, I'm still here. It was like being a ghost.
Don't ignore me.
I did. I got snapped for a second. I'm back though. I'm cool. Anyways, you guys can find me on Twitter at Nero the Hero, N3R0, THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube. Yeah, 0.
Now he does because he's aware of it.
No,
I've always said the 0.
Yeah.
Listen to any of
I'm
our...
hyper aware of zeros in the wild.
Yeah, that's why we're friends. You can also find me on YouTube if you just type in Nero the Hero with letters. You can also find me here on Charge Shot. I'm going to be not doing any gaming shit because reasons. And I'm sort of bitter about it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have a few more weeks. You're right. But yeah, I'm just gonna be making a shift as far as the focus of things. We'll figure something out. No big deal. I'll still be here.
We gotta continue our Batman watch-alongs.
Oh, woo.
We still have to watch the Mortal Kombat movies now that the games are almost out.
Yeah, it's April. Yeah.
Yes.
We're putting that off, but we gotta do it now.
Yep. And you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter, CSG Thomas on Twitter. I'm still on Twitter. You can also find me on Facebook, Thomas Reese. My name is out there somewhere. I don't know why I plug in my Facebook. I never do, but
yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if we're gonna cut that.
It's on the YouTube version. I can't cut it.
Oh,
yeah, you can also find me at chartshot.com. All of our social links are there. You can also find our Discord. Come hang out, talk about games. And you can also email me, thomas@chartshot.com. And you can review the show on iTunes, Stitcher, all the other places that you find our podcast. That's what this is, a podcast.
Yeah, that's what this is called.
Yeah. Yeah, so until then, guys, enjoy your games. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Stop.
That was a little rough.